Welcome, welcome, welcome. Alaskan Bush People is not a show that I have ever watched, but I've recently been seeing a lot of headlines about one of the stars from the show, Matt Brown. So I decided to take a deep dive to figure out what was going on. And you guys, it's kind of terrifying, to be absolutely honest, reading the interview from these women. So I'm going to give you guys all the details. Matt Brown appeared on the first 8 seasons of Alaskan Bush People, and he appeared to be a fan favorite. Once he left the show, a lot of people asked about him, wondered where he was, when he was coming back, and the family eventually put out a statement saying that he was gone to rehab. It was widely known that he did have a problem with alcohol. So it just made sense when the family said that he was off to rehab. Fans wished him well and was hoping that he would eventually return to the show. He left for rehab in 2018. This was his second stint in rehab. He was gone. This time he went to the Betty Ford Center, which is widely known facility for celebrities. So that's where he went. Now it is coming out. 2 victims have come out to say that he raped them within days apart as well. The 2 girls sat down with the Sun and done an interview, and they told all the details of what happened, and I'm going to give that information to you guys right now. So the first victim's name is Jessica. She's 35 years old right now. So this happened in 2018. The second victim's name is a lady by the name of Shelly. She is 54 right now. So she was in her early 50s at the time that the incident occurred. So Jessica was at the time the personal assistant of the family. She worked for the family, not just Matt, but for the entire family. And she alleged that Matt ripped off her swimsuit, grabbed her by the arms, and raped her in the swimming pool as she tried to fight him off. She actually said in this interview, she said that it was very terrifying. The situation or the ordeal was 2.5 hours before Shelly actually came out and pulled Matt off of Jessica. I couldn't even imagine 2.5 hours. Can you guys, 2.5 hours, that is crazy. She said she was eventually saved by the second alleged victim, who had not been victimized yet by Matt. Shelly Dawn was then, at the time, Matt's manager. So she pulled him off by his hair so Jessica could escape. Just 3 days later, Shelly was also raped at the same location. Now, both women did report these alleged rapes to the LAPD's office, and they launched an investigation, passed it off to the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. However, the DA's office declined to prosecute. No reason why, don't know why. Media outlets did reach out to the district attorney's office to see why they decided not to prosecute, and they have not heard anything back. So this happened at a house in Los Angeles, Conga Park, LA. I don't know if you guys, I don't know where that is. But on the day of the incident, the day before and the day of this incident, Matt had been drinking. This is what, for the first victim, said that he had been drinking the day before and that day. So the women are finally publicly speaking for the first time, and they are doing this to get justice. They said that Matt is a predator and they wish to expose him. Matt has been absent from the show since around the time this took place. So people are speculating, this is what's being speculated, that the rapes happened and then he left the show and went off to rehab. His brothers were notified of what took place. Jessica actually texted the brothers and told them what happened. And one of the brothers said that he would kill him if he could. And the other brother just said he was very sorry about what took place. Now, like I said earlier, a lot of fans of the show already knew that Matt had a problem with alcohol. She said, Jessica, the first victim, said that the day of the incident that Matt started drinking vodka and she was drinking Hennessy. He finally convinced her to get into the pool. This took place on July 8th, 2018. Jessica states that she's actually terrified of water because she can't really swim. So she says that she does everything she can to stay out of water. She's not a fan of water, but he persuaded her to get in. And she said once she got in, he was like a shark. He ripped off her bathing suit. He wouldn't let go of her. And she said that she said no probably a million times. She said she was disgusted. She said I said everything nasty I could to him to get him off of me, and it just wasn't happening. In the interview, she said he was a monster. I've been in situations before, but that was the worst. I was like, is this what celebrities do? Is this really how they behave? She said it was monstrous. It seemed to go on for about 2.5 hours until Shelly rescued her. Shelly was Matt's manager at the time. She kept coming out and asking if they were okay, and he would tell her to go back inside, that they were fine. And she said that she was saying, no, we're not fine. At some point, she said that she remembers that Matt flipped her over around in a corner, and all she could do was keep her legs closed and try everything to keep him off of her. She said, I'm watching the water rushing over the side of the pool, and I'm in the corner, and I just had to live through it. And he kept saying, take off your glasses. And I was just thinking, I'm dying. I don't want you to see my eyes. She said that she believes it was a predator thing. Jessica, who could barely swim, said that there was points during the ordeal where she thought she was actually going to drown. Shelly eventually realized what was going on and she'd come out to help. Jessica said, thank God Shelly was there. She ripped him off of me. At some point, his back was towards her, and she grabbed him one-handed underneath one shoulder, one hand on his hair. And Jessica said that she still couldn't get out at that point because the ladder wasn't attached. It was one of those half ladders. So every time she would try to climb off, it would fall right back into the water. She said, I could have died. I could have drowned. After the attack, we got out of the pool, and they were reprimanding him and telling him, like, what you done was disgusting. You could go to jail for this. Like, what are you thinking? This is not okay. And he apologized and cried. The second accuser, Shelly, who was the manager at the time and had been helping him deal with his addiction issues, alleged that she was then violently raped by him just 3 days later on July 11th. Again, she claims that he had also been drinking very heavily that day. She says it was just days after I pulled him out of the pool and he was trying to get at Jessica. When he was trying to get at Jessica. She said that they were at the same house, and that's when he raped her. Jessica was in her early 30s. Shelly was in her early 50s and had just had a hip replacement not long before, and Matt knew that. So Matt knew that Shelly was not in health-wise, like she couldn't run. She couldn't really fight him off because she had just had this hip replacement, and her legs weren't as strong as like the rest of her body. She said that that's how it happened because he knew that, and he knew that she wouldn't be able to run. She couldn't ward him off because her hips were weak. She said he was out of his mind drunk. After it happened, get this, you guys, I can't even understand this, but after the situation happened and after he allegedly raped Shelly, who was in her 50s, he actually accused her of raping him. He actually told her that she had raped him. She ended up calling a Lyft to come pick her up, and when the Lyft arrived, Matt was telling the guy that was the driver, he actually thought it was the police, and he was telling the driver that Shelly had just raped him. She said that night when she got home, she called Jessica, and she was very upset, and she ended up telling Jessica what happened, that he had raped her. Jessica said, I just didn't think for a second, after he had just done that to me, that he would do it to Shelly. They both went to the police. I don't think they went the night that it happened, but they did go to the police. The police passed it off, and it was eventually dropped. The district attorney's office decided not to prosecute him or go further with charges. Now, Jessica described how she first met Matt when she began working for the production company that makes Alaskan Bush People as a coordinator in 2017. She says she then began working directly for the family as an assistant and became very close to them and considered Matt a very good friend. Shelly, meanwhile, had met Matt when she was struggling with depression and was homeless in Washington. He told her that he needed a manager and wanted to help her and he wanted her to help him with his addiction issues. She had experience in that area, and she went with him to California in July 2018, and that's when and where the alleged rapes took place. Jessica hadn't seen Matt for some time when he visited that July, and they planned to discuss setting up an agency together, which would manage his career. She said her close relationship with Matt and the rest of the family made it difficult to process the alleged assault. Obviously, you're very close to a family, so it's probably pretty hard to tell them that one of their family members just raped you, Jessica said, I didn't tell the cops that at one point during the attack, he said, you didn't think I could just... Jessica said, I didn't tell the cops that at one point during the attack, Matt said, you didn't think I just came back to talk about the agency? She said she should have, but she thought that that was going to get him in even more trouble. She said she's just a nice person and she really loves the family, so she was very loyal to them. She said she couldn't process what was going on, and she guessed that's part of why people get away with doing bad things, because the victims don't know how to handle it. The two women actually had to return back to the house to drop off Brown's ID cards and a phone, which he had actually left with them after the ordeal. Thank you so much, Night Runner. Thank you for the sticker. Now, when they went back to return some of his things, they actually filmed them going back just for safety reasons, but Matt was not at home. In the video, which they actually did give to the son, that's who they done this interview with, was with the son. They actually turned over text messages where they spoke to Matt's brothers about the attacks, and they turned over the video of where they went to the house to drop off his belongings. The woman can be heard in the video saying how scared they were as they went around the house looking for Matt, who had bizarrely left pillows under the covers in the bed to make it look like there was a dead body in every bed. So he put pillows in each bed, lined up like there was someone under the blankets. So they dropped off his possessions and then they left their property. Another video that they actually turned over to the son is a video that Jessica recorded shortly after the alleged attack, where she cries and tells Matt that he is out of control and not to do that again, not to hurt anyone again. She also told two of his brothers and fellow cast members, Bear and Gabe, and I'm going to read you guys the text messages of where she told the two brothers. And I want you guys to know, I'm looking over here at the notes and at the articles that I'm going off of. I'm not looking at myself. I actually had someone comment saying, oh my God, stop looking at yourself. I'm not. So in one of the message that was turned over to the son, Bear, who is the brother, tells Jessica, I'd have killed him. No one disrespects a lady. That is unacceptable. He will pay. That was right after she told him about the attack. Gabe said, I'm so sorry. I mean this with all of my heart. Stay away from Matt. And then he asked her, does he know where you live? I don't know what to say or to do, to be honest. I think because there's nothing I can do. All the excuses in the world couldn't make up for his behavior. It is not okay. She also told some of the crew members on the show, and she told a close friend and a mentor, her husband and her brothers. So the people on the show, a lot of people on the show did know about this. It was not a secret. The family members knew, production knew. They actually did say that they were just hoping that the police department would investigate properly and do what they felt would be justified in this situation. Thank you so much, Tammy King, for the sticker. Thank you. So Jessica shared dozens of text messages with the son showing how Matt Brown's brothers reacted when she told them about the rape. So this is between Jessica and Bear Brown. I wish I could have fought him a little harder. I did grab his, I wanted to rip it off. He kept saying, just let me stick it in, again and again and again. I'm sorry, Bear. I just don't know. I just don't want to talk to anybody else. Bear, the brother, says, I tried to warn you. If I knew that he was this bad, though, I'd have to kill him. No one disrespects a lady. That is unacceptable and he will pay. Also, no part of any of what happened was your fault. Don't blame yourself. I have to give it up to the brothers for defending her, And this is a lot of people. I actually made a post about this yesterday, and a lot of people was shocked and was like, wow, didn't see that coming. He seemed like such a good person on the show. Very, very nice, even though people knew that he suffered with, alcohol problems, a lot of people still say that he always seemed like a really good guy on the show. You know, he does have a YouTube channel. He has about 11,000 followers, but he's not very active on there. He only has like 7 videos. I looked to see if there was like anything updated on there. The last video that he put out was like 2 weeks ago, and it was just a very short clip about remaining positive and stuff like that. Jessica went on to say, this is to Gabe, actually. So Jessica says, Gabe, he effing scared the out of me. I can't close my eyes and see darkness. All I see is everything, and I'm stuck in the pool with him. I literally can't get out. Gabe says, I'm so sorry. I mean this with all my heart. Stay away from him. Does Matt know where you live? I don't know what to say or do. To be honest, I think because there's nothing I can do. All the excuses in the world can't make up for his behavior. It's not okay. I'm so sorry. For you to have that on your conscience, I knew it was bad. It was a bad idea. I'm so sorry. I feel responsible. I know how he is. I'm so sorry. I can't say it enough. I'm so sorry. Then Jessica says, I told Matt I was in love with Bear when he forced kissed me. I said he was gross and a terrible kisser. I literally tried everything to turn him off and shut him down. He just wouldn't stop. And all the no's and Matt stopped in the world couldn't help me. It took Shelly pulling him off by his hair. Gabe says, sweetie, I'm so sorry. Nobody should have to go through something like this. It sounds like a nightmare. He is the biggest F up I've ever met, to be honest. He has everything and just F's it up somehow. He is a jackass. I'm so sorry he came into your life. I wish you never met us. We've done nothing but hurt you. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve that. You're an amazing person full of life and joy. And then Gabe says, unfortunately, everyone knows how he is. He's really effed up. The way the family thinks of him by being a loud, violent drunk, he's my big brother. We've always been close, but his behavior is not acceptable. Jessica's close friend and mentor told The Sun that he had noticed a change in Jessica after July 8th and was convinced, and he actually convinced her to go to the police after she broke down one day and told him about the alleged rape. He set up a meeting with the detectives for her because he said that Jessica was traumatized by what happened. 2 years later, Jessica and Shelly say that their lives have been destroyed by this alleged assault. Shelly said that she's living penniless and suffering from crippling depression and other problems. Both say that they are extremely disappointed with the police investigation and the DA, Jackie Lacey's, decision not to prosecute. Shelly says she felt screwed over by people, including the authorities. She said it's been very disappointing because they made it sound like I was just out for money. It's not about the money. It's about being respected and treated like a person instead of like an object. You can't just hurt and use and abuse anyone you want to. I'm sick of being treated that way my whole freaking life, and it's got to stop. I've got to find a reason to live in this world. When I met him, I was so suicidal. I literally was about to hang myself, and he helped me, so I wanted to help him, but he ended up screwing me over. And now, what choice do I have? I've been made invisible by this whole thing, and I don't want to be invisible. I want to be seen and heard. And she says that referring to how Matt left the show and has rarely been seen for the past 2 years. She went on to say, he knows what he's done. Why would he hide? And why would he give up being with his family and being a part of their whole deal if he wasn't hiding? So, like I said, a lot of people are thinking and speculating that the reason he's not on the show is because he's in hiding. He hasn't been on the show since season 8. And right after the incident happened was when he left and he went to rehab. Now he's a little active on social media and claims to be doing better. But I'm just going to say, if this took place, if this is true, he can't be out and about. I don't know. Like, I'm very, like, bothered by this. He said, and she says that she doesn't believe that he's really been in recovery. She says, he gets this big, nice, fancy treatment center after I get raped, but what happens to me? That just doesn't seem right after what he done to me. I'm really sad and I'm depressed every effing day. I just can't keep up with my depression. Recently on an Instagram post, Matt wrote that he's been in treatment for 2 years to deal with negative feelings and events of his past, which, if this is true, I'm assuming he's talking about this, right? He said, slowly, one day at a time, they helped me build myself back up. It wasn't just about getting back on the road again. For me, it was mostly about processing, addressing, and dealing with the negative feelings and events of my past that I just couldn't get over. Now I'm so happy to tell you my life is wonderful. I found happiness. It's still one day at a time. I still have my days, but it's so much easier now. Now that I have tools, now that I understand how to better understand myself. Meanwhile, Jessica says that since the alleged assault, she barely sleeps. She jumps at every noise. And in the months after the ordeal, she barely took care of herself. She even stopped showering and brushing her teeth. She also told how difficult it was to see Matt posting on social media, telling the world how happy he is, which I can imagine. She said it's just so hard. You get to the point where you think, I'd rather die than see this crap anymore. Jessica says he's getting a piece that Shelly and I are never going to have. It will never go away from us. The LAPD said both cases were investigated in 2018 and presented to the Los Angeles District Attorney's Office, who declined to prosecute. A spokesperson for the Discovery Channel, which airs the Alaskan Bush People, said in a statement, Discovery Channel was approached several years ago regarding these allegations. We find them disturbing and very serious. We agree the local authorities should be contacted immediately. Due to the nature of the accusations, we felt that all cooperation would be most appropriately handled by law enforcement. So outlets reached out and they have not heard anything back. The Sun also made attempts to contact Matt Brown. Did not hear anything. They also reached out to Gabe and Bear for a comment, which they didn't get a comment from them. And they also noted on this interview that Shelly and Jessica did not receive payment for these interviews. But I'm shocked by this, you guys. It does not look like they got justice if these accusations are true. I just don't see two women concocting this plan together to say that they were raped by this person. And it just so happens when this happened, they have all these text messages to prove it. I mean, clearly there's truth to it. They brought forth text messages, videos of them going in the house after the situation happened. He leaves to go to rehab. He quits appearing on the show. What are y'all's thoughts on it? I definitely feel like somebody that does that to people they're not easily fixable. You know, they always have probably this desire to I don't know, you know, and I just hope that they somehow get peace and they get the help that they need to where they can have peace and they can live with what's happened and they are not depressed and struggling every day. Okay, great. Okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump off. I'm going to come right back with a video about Savannah Chrisley and her fiance, Nick, splitting up and people assuming that maybe she's in the closet. I don't know. I'm going to hop back on here with that. Also, I want to do a live stream about John Goslin. You know that his son, just a couple days ago, Colin, actually accused him of beating him on social media. And there was a lot of uproar with that situation. And Kate come out and made a statement. And now John's mom and John's daughter, Hannah, have spoken out publicly about the situation as well. So I want to hop on and do that video as well. Also, you guys, look, I don't know why my settings for ads to be in my channel are just set normal. I don't mess with them. I don't go add any more ads in there. But here lately, YouTube has really been messing with my channel and putting a whole bunch of ads in my videos. I don't like that. I don't like watching videos with a ton of ads. If you see a video that has a ton of ads, please leave me a comment so I can go and fix that. I used to think that YouTubers were literally jamming ads in their videos just to make more money, but maybe it's YouTube. I don't know. But I don't want it going on with me. I don't like videos with a ton of ads. So if you see it, please don't think that I've done it. Leave me a comment so I can fix it. All right, you guys, I'll be right back in give me 10 minutes. I'm going to hop on and do the video about Savannah and Nick. And then after that, hopefully we'll get to the one about John and his son, Colin. Don't forget to hit the like button if you are not a member of the channel yet. There's a button down there where you can join. It's not very expensive. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Hit the like, and Jano, we'll be right back, Jana. We're gonna come right back with another video. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.